What's up? So this is a video I'm going to put in between the Corvette just to give me more time to get a video together of all the footage of the Corvette, as well as maybe a little Mustang footage or truck footage tossed in there. But this will just be a good little filler. So I'm going to go ahead and get this thing fired up and move it outside and do a little video on this thing. Before I pull it out, the first thing I'll probably show you guys are a few pictures of the car of when I bought it, what it looked like. So I'll go ahead and insert those now so you can check those out. And I might throw in a few other build pictures throughout as I talk about the car. I'm not really sure how I'll do it yet, but I'll definitely start out with these so you guys can check those out, and then we'll go from there. Backstory on this car is it's a 1959 European Spec Beetle. Obviously, you know, all the Volkswagens were built in Germany, but they were all built for Australian Spec, UK Spec, Euro Spec, United States Spec. So they all had different, you know, requirements. So this is a true Germany car. It was brought over here to the States, I believe, in, I want to say early '62 by a serviceman. And this car, before it came over here, had to meet United States requirements. So it had to have the overrider bumpers, fender turn signals, as well as, being that it was '62, they hopped up to a different tail light, which was a little bit bigger. And they went ahead and installed those at that time. And then they write the car off as no longer being allowed back into Europe now that it has been converted to American Spec. Kind of weird, but really neat. So then the car came, I believe, at some point to southern Indiana, and a guy found it in a barn, brought it up to a local show here, and that's where I found it and bought it. So I decided it needed to stay all original since it was only missing a handful of things. So I'll go over the car and show you guys what this thing's about. Okay, so right off the rip, you can see that the deck lid does not match. I sourced this deck lid, and it's actually L245 light bronze, and the car is L243 diamond gray. And when this was faded, it looked like it matched, but it ended up being incorrect because this car, as you can tell, was hit in the rear. Someone had worked all this area here and all back here, so I'm assuming the deck lid wasn't salvageable, as well as the rear bumper had got hit. So I sourced this original Euro Spec bumper, which is just the blade with the small bumperettes instead of the big overriders that come across. And this stuff I have waxed and coated so it just doesn't keep rusting until I can blend it properly. I do have an original paint deck lid for this. I just have to strip some paint off of, and then I'll have that on at a future time. But the car was missing the original engine, unfortunately. But I found a numbers matching correct 36 horse that was found in the basement. It's literally all original. I just went through the carburetor, put a new cap, rotor, plugs, and wires on it, changed the oil, rebuilt the fuel pump, and this thing runs like a pickle cedar. And the giveaways of it being a European car are not only the bumpers, which I just stated there. Show you the front, and the fluted lenses, so you can see that circle with all the flutes going through. That was a Euro only deal, as well as the semaphore turn signals. So this is kind of the, if you're a Volkswagen guy, you know all about this. So this is the main deal. Everyone loves the semaphores. So and someone had pulled these out, and a friend of mine from the Netherlands actually found an original paint set for me at a swap meet in France. So I bought those from him, and he shipped them over to me. I also had to source all the original paint wheels as well. It had one original. This is the original to the car. It's a moss green and pearl white center. So now I have all the matching correct ones, even a spare. I think this one, yeah, this one up here is from the Netherlands as well. So that's pretty neat. And the car, like I said, actually here is the original dealer badge. They did that a lot in Germany and Europe. They put these cool little dealer badges on the outside. Those are actually threaded. And when I was cleaning the car out, I found the original dealer badge. So I put it in here. There was 2 holes up in here on the dash already, and they lined up, so it leads me to believe it may have had 2 of them. So I went ahead and put it on the inside, and that's the original dealership it was sold at new, which I believe is still in business to this day in Offenbach, Maine, Germany. But yeah, here's the interior. This is a 2-year only European cloth. 58, 59 cars are pretty cool because they were a 2-year only. These door panels with the vinyl and this like diamond shaped material with this chrome strip was 2-year only. Has the original door cards, and as well as the vinyl options, they were 2-tone as well, and the European got the cloth. And I do have a guy remakes this from Germany, so I actually have some cloth to reattach to this original vinyl and redo these front seats eventually when I get the funds to do that. But yeah, interior is all original as well. So that was another big selling factor, minus the headliner. Unfortunately, someone redid it at one point because it should be a mohair headliner, and this is just some cheap vinyl. Some other cool, quirky things about the car is the fenders had cracked, you know, and someone had put these little straps on there to reconnect them. So when I got done with the car, I actually put them back on just because. Just thought it was neat. And there's the support bars where it would have been for the US Spec overriders for the bigger bumperettes. And then I had to source original paint snowflake taillights. And the reason they call them snowflakes is you should be able to kind of see that snowflake looking deal there. They ended up matching pretty well. Original glass in the car minus the windshield. I had to source an original windshield. Car's got, you know, great patina. If you're into that stuff, I am. Just these cars are only original once, and it's cool to be able to save the history and what the car is. And also there's where the US Spec turn signals were at when they had to have them when it came over. So I removed those and got them out just because they're not supposed to be there. So unfortunately I have some holes there, but it adds to the story of the car. Another really cool option this car had was, which is also really neat, it still has the original clear needle kilometer per hour speedometer, which a lot of times those got swapped out, so that's really neat that the car still has that. The steering wheel was only used from 1956 to 1959. It's called a semi-batwing wheel. And manual choke, so that's always kind of cool being able to control the choke. Just really good solid car for, you know, being in Europe and then over here in the Midwest. So here is an original. Usually if you know Volkswagens, the ignition's normally right here. This is an original steering lock ignition. You can actually lock the steering wheel so no one could steal your car. And what's really neat about it is there's your dash lights come on. That's your on position. And then what's really neat about this car that a lot of people don't know is, you know, you think this in today's age that all this push button starts new. 1959. Yeah, push button start, pretty cool. Very rare feature. These are very expensive if you can ever even find them. So, and it works like a charm, as you could tell. Here's an original early partial tray. And these cars also in, you know, 58, 59, there was options to get a fuel gauge, but factory, they were fuel gauge delete. They never had those, and this is also a radio delete opted car, which is my favorite. And this early partial tray with what do you call that? Kind of like a mesh netting. It's elastic, so it's a really rare piece here. And there's the fuel reserve. So if you run out of gas, you just take your foot, kick that down to the reserve, and you can run off an extra gallon or so. And I'll go ahead and show you guys the turn signals in action. Having a little trouble with the driver's side. I think maybe the original solenoid is finally going out on me, but I know the passenger side works really well, so I think the window's down, so we'll show you guys how this works. So here's your turn signal lever. Pretty neat. A lot of guys have never seen those, so pretty cool. One of my favorite things. Another cool option I found over the time of having this car is a rear view mirror shader. If you can have an original one of these, which this is, they are super rare. So pretty neat. And this is a deluxe 58-59 only visor set. I'm pretty stoked on that. So we'll show you under the front here. Original early style hinge. I just have this up here for now while I get a new, I have the original paint spare as well. I just got to get a new tire for it, and this is just kind of in here for the meantime. There's the original color tag. I made out a little, you can't see it in here, but you can make out a little bit of where it says diamond gray, and which is pretty neat. Original opted starburst or sunburst gas cap, which is pretty cool. Yeah, it's just overall it's a pretty clean car. So it's pretty neat. It has all original wiring too. Let me shut this thing off. So it's pretty cool. Other than the engine harness, I had to source out of another 59 a buddy of mine has, because when the original engine had caught fire at one point, and the owners that had it before me, apparently the kids scrapped the engine, which is unfortunate. But so other than that original harness, I had to section in for the engine. All of its original, and all the wiring was super nice. And the car is still 6 volt, so I just, I like to keep them as original as I can. And which is why you see the Firestone 560 bias plies on here. Another really cool option is when I stripped this car, or when I first got it, I didn't even notice it had original Albert rock guards on it, which is pretty cool. They came back pretty nice. Has rear ones as well, the tall option ones. They had like short guys and then these opted tall ones, and they are original. So yeah, overall the car is not perfect by any means, but you know what, it's a 1959 and it was neglected for a lot of years, and it's still in this good a shape, and I keep it in a climate controlled garage and drive it on nice days, so definitely ain't getting any worse anytime soon. So yeah, just hope you guys enjoyed it. But that's my nice little cruiser. My wife and I can hop in, we go get ice cream and go on cruises and all sorts of stuff with it. I probably put, since I got this car done, which would have been in 2018, I probably put every bit of 4,000 or 5,000 miles on it, which Doesn't seem like a lot, but I do a lot of in-town driving with it, so it does get driven quite a bit. So yeah, I'm glad you guys, I hope you guys enjoy it. Leave a comment below if you want to see me go over any of my other cars. I can also, I can do another videos on those, kind of be little fillers in between shop stuff. So I got plenty to go over. Got the wife's 65 Bahama Blue Beetle, and then my 64 11 window standard back there. And then I also have a 64 Beetle in the other garage. So yeah, I hope you guys liked it. So let me know in the comments if you guys want to see anything else, and I can do my best to get that done soon and get some more videos like that out. And I could go on and on about, the 2-year only stuff on this car, but didn't want to bore everybody with oodles of information. So yeah, like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. We're out.